What up, y'all? It's your boy, Once Grove. This is the 104th episode of C4CW, casting 495 celebrities worldwide. And this is a mobile podcast, if you didn't already know. If you've tuned in before, thank you for tuning back in. If this is your first time, that is 495, we sincerely appreciate you tuning in for the first time. And also, hopefully you're having a pleasant day, night, evening, midday, twilight, dusk, dawn, wherever you are in the world. Yo, what's up? Well, I'll tell you what's up on my end, man. So, the last episode I just did, the previous episode, the most recent episode, just before this episode, would be 103rd episode. Technically, in the math of it all, it's the 103rd episode previously. This is the 104th episode. In the 103rd episode, I talked about despicable entities. People in society who are basically broken fucking humanoid robotics. When I say that, they may be biological, dude, and not actually robots, but the point is, dude, is that they act fucking robotic and they're stupid. And they say stupid shit that's illogical, like, I'm not gonna go there with you, I'm not gonna do this with you. And that's in response to your valid questions. One of the things that I wanted to follow up with you folks on, the audience here, is that, so that punk bitch motherfucker who was talking shit, man, who was popping off at the mouth, who was bumping his gums, and who was talking sideways and talking out the side of his neck, to use all those idioms and expressions. That dude, when he flew off the handle, as I said, and he was like, you can't park your car here. And I was like, I'll move the car because I understand you have some security protocol. Where can I park? And he's like, I'm not gonna go here with you. I'm not gonna do that and go back and forth with you. When he said that shit to me, dude, that dude pissed me off, dude, so fucking much. I reported the dude to his boss. What I did was I went and parked my car illegally in front of their building security. And here's why I say illegally. They have no place to park. So the only place to park is reserved parking. So I did it. Because when I'd been there before, to that agency, there's a second building where they have some backward protocol and it's ambiguous and it's arbitrary. So I actually changed that today because they fucking pissed me the fuck off, right? Because before they told me that you can't park behind the thing, right? Because I parked my car in the shit, in other words, in the parking lot in the back. And so the fucking surveillance dudes, they immediately dispatch to this rent-a-cop. And the rent-a-cop comes out. This is a different rent-a-cop. And this is on a different day and a different occasion. He comes out and he's like, dude, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I get it. You think it's an abandoned vehicle and that there's a bomb in it. Well, there's not, dude. And I'm just, dude, chill. And he's like, you can't park your car here. And I was like, that's funny because it looks like a parking space. So they had a similar thing going on at that other building, right? The point is that it didn't make any sense even then. So then there's this other building, right, where that's where you're supposed to park. So when I did that today, that's when the dudes fucking started talking shit. And I was like, oh, now you're going to try to accost me every time I come to this building, whether it's that building or this building, the first one or the second one. Because like I said, there are two buildings back to back and they're the same fucking agency, right? Well, there's a bunch of agencies, but it's the same building management people, right? So what I did was I parked my car and I kept an eye on my car so that it didn't get towed, right? I parked my car, and after I parked my car, I immediately changed my my demeanor and my persona, and I went back with credentials, and I walked up on the security dude, the other guy that was with him, who seemed to be more rational, grounded, and down to earth. And I said to him, I said, can I talk to you for a moment? Can I speak with you for a moment? And he was like, was it about the thing just a few minutes ago? And I was like, yeah, dude, it is. And he's like, okay, give me one moment. So I waited outside. That dude was actually rational, man. And he was actually a normal dude, you know? And I actually communicated with him. And I said, hey, man, listen, this guy, are you with the same security group that's outsourced by this agency here? Are you with the same contractor? And he was like, yes. Because he had this guy I was talking to who was down to earth, rational operator. He had a jacket over his his uniform. So I didn't know until I was up close and I could see that he, in fact, did have the same uniform. And then I was able to see the badge, and I was like, all right, I see. Yeah, you are with the same third-party government contractor organization there. You're a security group that protects, secures, and defends this building. And I was like, the guy who I initially spoke with, your subordinate, it appears, because he, if I'm not mistaken, he's like, well, I'm not his boss, but I'm the best you're going to get in terms of head of security here today at this time. So I was like, all right, I understand. So he's basically a subordinate to you. I was like, yeah, man, that dude's a motherfucking piece of shit. Okay. And so then I just broke out my credentials and I was like, look, man, this is who the fuck I am. This is what I do. And this dude doesn't know me from fucking Adam, and he's popping off at the mouth. And is that how he's supposed to be talking to what he perceives to be the public? Is that how he communicates with the public? And the dude was like, absolutely not how he is supposed to communicate. Dude is wrong on many levels. You're absolutely correct, sir. And he listened to me, dude, because I explained very clearly who I was and my background. And when he heard my English, he knew I wasn't fucking around. So I told him, I said, look, man, this dude is a dick-sucking motherfucking piece of shit. This guy that you're working with, he's a fucking asshole. I said, man, if I had some more time, I'd write him up, man. I'd write a 20-page letter and send it to his boss, your bosses, his bosses, your superiors, and I'd have this dude fucking fired. This dude shouldn't work for your company. He's a fucking piece of garbage. He's a dick-sucking fucking piece of shit asshole. And this dude, man, is coming sideways and shit. So I have to counter that shit, man. I'm gonna have to let you know right up, straightforward, man. This dude that you're working with is an incompetent, unprofessional, moronic, fucking peonic schmuck. And he's a fucking schmo. And it's unfortunate that you have him on your security team, because he shouldn't be at this government agency and he shouldn't work for a security company. He's not a fucking rational operator. He's irrational, and he uses expressions with the public such as, I'm not gonna go back and forth with you like this, when people simply ask him, where am I allowed to park legally then? Dick, sucker, bitch made, chump made, punk motherfucker. He doesn't have a logical answer. He doesn't know how to talk to the public. He doesn't know how to respond to human beings in this space here, and he should be fired immediately. So now that you know that and you understand that and you know that I rightly should write this dude up and take a little time out of my schedule to write a little brief summarize it for your upper management, for the upper echelon, a little summarization, little intel report on this fucking piece of garbage, this fucking lowbrow that you have working with you. I don't have time for that shit, man. I just want to let you know this is a warning to this motherfucker over here that you're working with, okay? And to your company. Cause dude, really, it's a warning. So I let that dude know, and he understood, and he got it, and he was like, I get it, and I understand totally. You're absolutely fucking correct. So that's one of the problems with America, is that you have these piece of shits who are hired by these companies to work, and they're lowbrows. They're fucking lowbrow. They're devolved, okay? So if you don't know what devolved means because you're a younger member of society and you've never heard that word before, it's basically de-evolved, but we don't say de-evolved as in the evolution of humans, woman and men, okay? Woman and man. We don't say de-evolved. Technically, in the English grammar of all, we say devolved. But nonetheless, it's the de-evolution of human beings going backward in fucking time. Back to knuckle draggers. And do I believe that humans actually come from apes? No, in fact, I know they don't. But it's a good example because it's something that people can identify with, and it's something that people sadly, pathetically believe. There's no such thing as evolution. There just isn't, because I'm keyed in and I know, and I'm coded in and I know. It's made up and it's fake. But if you believe in evolution, which it's very sad and very fucking twisted that you do, but I understand, some people, they're just, weak-minded, and they'll just believe shit like that because it comes from books and government sources, and it's been it's been drilled into the psyche of America and Europe and the world and all continents on this planet by the powers that be for as long as it has been. And it's just a fucking absolute lie and fabrication. It's completely fallacious. And as I say, apocryphal. It's a ruse. It's a red herring. It's fabricated and manufactured, dude. It's made up. There's no such thing as evolution. But if you want to believe it is, and you have a PhD in biology or whatever, botany or agricultural science or some kind of life science, and you want to talk about adaptation and how humans adapt, and well, that's not evolution, dude. And I don't give a fuck if somebody tries to say that it is. Well, this person said that it is, and he's a famous scientist. Well, I don't give a fuck, dude. He's probably snorting fucking meth, and I don't give a shit. Fuck your story and your narrative, okay? Human DNA jumped about, I don't know, like some tens of millions of years overnight. And the U.S. government and allied governments, they know that evolution is a fraud, okay? Because DNA was modified. Human DNA was genetically modified about 66 different times by the Anunnaki and ancient aliens. So that's a reality. But you were told in a book that, you evolved and that, there were monkeys and chimps and baboons and orangutans and all these different types of fucking primates and that you come from that. Well, you don't. So, but if you want to believe that you do, hey, here's a good example for you in terms of how these despicable entities exist on this decrepit rock. And I'm not saying that all of human life is devolved. I'm saying there are still pockets of, increasingly, pockets of devolution. Devolution? De-evolving humans? I'll have to look up the grammar on that. But humans who have de-evolved back to what you call the knuckle dragger in the, Australopithecus or whatever fucking, the sapien hominids and all this shit that you've made up in your Latin stories of fucking brainwash and shit. Yeah, you got motherfuckers walking around, dude, that are devolved, and they act like, chest beating, I am Tarzan of the jungle, fucking barbaric, motherfucking medieval, goons, and, ghouls, and fucking, just some stupid slime balls and sleaze bags and, douche bags, just cesspools of just fucking lowbrow cesspools, and, yeah, man. So, and they can't communicate effectively. The only thing they can say in response to you asking valid questions is, sir, ma'am, I'm not gonna go back and forth with you on this like this with you back and forth. This is a mobile podcast too, by the way. So, as someone who has, as I have been very upfront with the audience about, worked in government extensively, have a lot of successful government operations under my belt, and I've been a government contractor for clearly more than a decade and have been highly paid for my services and what have you. Observationally, dude, one of the things that I've noticed out here on the eastern seaboard is that you have, dude, a lot of scams going on in terms of building construction, property management, and the like. I mean, obviously, dude, that's all throughout the country and around the world. But one of the things specifically, if you want to know, because some do want to know, you have these contractors that come in, dude, and they'll look at these demographics and they'll look at these projections, estimates, statistics, and they'll approach whomever and say, hey, we'll bid on this contract and we'll build this building structure, right? And they're like, yeah, thanks, because it's needed, and so we just chose you out of, this pot of these people. We just pulled your information out of a hat, and now you're the winner. You've got the contract, because someone's getting a kickback. And they'll do a fucking subpar job, dude. They'll do, like, some bullshit-ass job, some shoddy, lousy fucking job, and to, at the expense of the public, to the detriment of America, and I don't know, man, what is it? And I say I don't know facetiously. What is it nowadays with these motherfuckers who build these buildings and they don't take into account population growth? Have you ever seen these buildings where people are circling these buildings looking for parking spaces? And they have a parking garage that's like I don't know, dude, like maybe 2 stories, you know, or like 5 or some shit. You know what I mean? It's like, if you understood that it's the East Coast and there's population growth, why didn't you build a 10-story parking garage? Why do you have people circling within your building structure, your property, your premises, looking for a parking space for like an hour because every single space is occupied? You, with your architects and your engineers and your fucking quackery scientists, your quack scientists, your quackery, your fucking so-called engineers and your so-called blueprint specialists and your so-called architectural design firm, you didn't know that you should have built a 10-story fucking parking garage, dude, instead of 5? Didn't occur to you? Right, because totally, dude, you totally did the math. Well, you obviously, something's wrong, dude. I don't think you did. I don't really think you did the math. Because, dude, how do you have an inefficient building structure? Why is this building structure, why is this commercial space, why is it inefficient, bitch? Why are you stupid? Like, where the fuck did you get your degree? Oh, right, because it was planned so well that, like, people would have, like, they could be accommodated and they would be, like, able to just easily just, like, park their vehicles, like, on your property and stuff that's, like, architecturally, like, designed by your firm. You're fucking dumb, dude. You're doing scams. You're doing scams, and that's why, dude, people are driving around trying to find a place to park and there's not a single fucking space. No, there's the parking garage, but it's totally occupied. And you know why? Because it's like 2 stories, dude. Should have been fucking 10. Doesn't make any sense, dude. It's just that you're a scammer and you're a schemer and you're a con artist and your firm got some money and someone got a kickback because you're selling broken systems to America. You're selling broken systems to America, and it's quite evident.